Hi everybody, it's your friend Chris Saris from CPO, here with what was supposed to be our first live stream Healing Arts at Home event. But because of technical difficulties, I'm not able to be with you live, but I'm still here with you. For those of you who aren't familiar with our Healing Arts program, it's something that's been very popular on campus, where we kind of combine a fun craft or activity with a topic that's related to our emotional or other dimensions of our wellness. And we can't be with you to do this, but we thought we could still find ways to do these things together. So Healing Arts at Home is going to give you every week different types of activities that you can do with stuff you probably have around the house. Today, what we're going to be doing is some DIY lava lamps. I'm going to walk you through that in a couple of minutes. But I just want to reinforce again that this is a tough time for everybody. As professionals, we know that the kind of social isolation and the disruption is taking a toll on everybody. As people, we're feeling it too. We are definitely feeling it too. And that's why we wanted to be here with you. So we are together in some ways that we can be. Part of the whole idea behind Healing Arts, whether we're doing it at home or doing it on campus, is to be able to kind of take care of ourselves in fun, relaxing, creative ways. For me, creativity is a big part of my self-care. That might not be so for everybody. I don't know about you. But however you like to have fun, like to relax, it's important to make time for that in your life, especially during periods like this where things are really super stressful and it's hard to carve out the usual kind of coping time or strategies. So what we're going to be doing today is going to be fun. Could be a little bit messy. That's why I've got my midnight breakfast apron on here. I'm going to show you how to do DIY lava lamps two different ways. We're going to start with the Alka Seltzer version, and then we're going to go into a version that is basically doing the same thing, but without the Alka Seltzer. And you will note that I am not actually using brand name Alka Seltzer or anything else. You can buy, those kind of antacid tablets anywhere. But what we'll need is vegetable oil, water, baking soda and vinegar if you're doing that version, or those antacid Alka Seltzer type tablets. And we also want a little food color, and if you want to get really funky, we'll do a little bit of glitter. So we're going to do a couple of different versions, and then what I hope you'll do is post in the comments which one you like best. Maybe even if you give it a shot and make your own, you will post a picture of yours. So the first thing I'm going to do is your basic lava lamp, recipe. If you have a funnel would be a good thing to use with this because it would help it from being too messy. I don't have a funnel. I've got one in my office at CPO, but not here at home. Priorities. But I think we can manage this with just pouring. So your basic recipe, and we're going to post all this afterwards in the comments. Your basic recipe is going to be to take a bottle that you've recycled. So glass, plastic, it could be a jar, whatever you want to use. I've got a couple of nice bottles that I've been repurposing for different kinds of activities. And what you want to do is you want to have a ratio of about 3/4 of the vegetable oil to 1/4 of the water. So I am not a scientist. I don't play one on TV, but I do know enough about fluid dynamics to know that we want, those ratios of oil and water because they're not going to mix. We don't want them to mix. They're going to be doing some other fun stuff. But let's get our oil. I think that's about right. And again, we're eyeballing all this, right? Where this isn't a recipe that the ratios have to be perfect. If you do 1/3 and 2/3, it's going to work out just as good. So I've got my oil in here. I'm going to top off. I've got plenty of water in case I need it later, but I'm going to just top this off here. A little bit messy already. Now what you will notice if you've ever played around with this kind of stuff, separating, right? So it doesn't matter if I put the oil in first or the water in first, it's eventually going to do this kind of a thing. Now, variations on this, you can mix your food color with your water first if you want. You can put in different colors of food color, but what you'll see is once things start getting agitated, it's all going to blend together. So I like this kind of orchidy purple color. So now that I've got my water in there, I've got my oil in there, I'm going to put a couple of drops of this lovely color in. And it's going to do some fun drippiness down there. It's going around. And let's make this one without glitter just so we can see how the process works. So we got everything in place. We're ready for explosion. All we're going to do is take some broken up Alka Seltzer tablets, plop them in, and watch the fun begin. There we go. And so you can see, like, I didn't go crazy with the color, and it's taking a little while for that color to get around. Let's have some fun and add a little bit more color while we're messing around here. Basically, this thing will keep bubbling. There we go, look at that. Oh, now it's going wild. This will keep bubbling as long as the Alka Seltzer is still reacting with the water. So at some point, you might get so much Alka Seltzer in there that there's not enough stuff in the water to react. This one's going crazy. And I like the colors that came out of this. I started out with an orchid and then added some red, and now it's doing its own thing there. Now, if you have little waterproof submersible lights, something like that, sometimes people have them around the house from the holidays, throw them in there, or a flashlight underneath would also light that up and give it a cool effect. Let's try this one a little bit differently. So I'm going to use the same formula, but this time what I'm going to do is I'm going to add the color to the water first, and then we're going to make the rest of it include a little glitter. See what happens there. I would like to acknowledge my trusty life partner and cameraman. Gavin, what color should we go with for this one?
I say blue.
Let's go with some blue. This is a nice bright blue. Oh yeah, we got some good color there. So this time we're going to pour that water in first. I'm going to add a little bit more here from my big measuring cup. I'm making a mess, but I was prepared for that, and I will clean it up when we're done. Okay, so pouring in our blue. And again, we don't need too much. I'll do a little bit more. And now I'm going to pour in my oil on this one. Oh, I tripped on the outside there a bit. Here we go. I like this combo because it's got kind of like an ocean in the bottle feeling for me. So even without the Alka Seltzer, I like what's happening there. All right, so now we've got everything ready to rock. It's already got a little bit of a lava lamp look because of the bubbles. Let's see if we get a different effect with mixing the water and the color prior to adding to the oil. Starting to get, oh yeah, you can, I think I like it better this way with adding the color to the water first. I think it's given more of a kind of colorful display here. There we go. Give a couple more. All right, I like this one. So if anybody out there has kids or is a kid, great kid-friendly craft. Certainly the kid in me is enjoying it. I'm going to put this one off to the side. One thing I do want to highlight, going back to our other friend over here, we can get this guy reactivated again as soon as we throw in a little bit more Alka Seltzer. So, you know, eventually you'll have to empty these out and clean the bottle, but you can get some use out of them a couple of times over before you do. You can also use these techniques in any kind of receptacle, bottles, jars, glasses. You can make a smaller scale version. So these are all different, you know, ways that you could go about this. Now I want to show you a different version before we wrap up, because not everybody necessarily has Alka Seltzer tablets at home. But I would argue, or at least guess, that many people are going to have baking soda and vinegar, especially if you're at home with your parents. I'm betting there's a lot of moms that are keeping their baking soda stocked up. It is a wonderful all-purpose kitchen tool. So what we're going to do here is a little bit different. We're going to, this would have been a good thing for a funnel, but I'm going to fake it. Let's see, what will I use for a funnel? Pardon me, cameraman Gavin. Use my notebook, take a piece of paper. I'm going to MacGyver this one. I'd be very curious in the comments. Tell me how many of you actually recognize that reference. It is not required. But what I want to do for this version is to lay down a layer of baking soda. You see where the funnel is helpful here. Ooh, made a bit of a mess. And I would say a couple of tablespoons. Now, the inside of my bottle is damp. It's going to be interesting to see what kind of effect that has on this. I haven't done this version before, so this is going to be A mystery to you and me. All right. But the basic version for the no Alka Seltzer, you start with your layer there, and then you carefully add your oil so that it leaves that layer intact on the bottom. So, oops, making a mess. Oh my God, I'm making a terrible mess. That's all right. It's good, clean, messy fun, everybody. Now, I don't know how intact my bottom layer is, but the way we're going to proceed from here with this version, and then we'll see how it works out, is we take our vinegar. We add the color directly to the vinegar. Let's stick with Gavin's blue. Oh yeah. And actually, this is way more vinegar than one would need. We're only going to put a few drops in. And because I didn't bring in a spoon, there we go. Let's see what happens here, folks. I'm on the edge of my seat on this one. Oh, so I can see it sort of penetrating down, but it hasn't made it through the oil to get, there it goes. Oh my God, what a mess I'm making with this one. There it goes. So once that vinegar penetrates through that oil layer, it's all ready to rock and roll. So again, you can look up the science if you're interested. A couple of different ways to do this. Fun for everybody, a little science. And honestly, I've been emphasizing adding the, the liquid and the oil in these proportions. What I want to reinforce to you is that it really doesn't matter. Here, let me add a little bit more water here. Oh my God, I'm making such a mess. This is so much fun. We can just add some random amounts here, and then top it off with the rest of the oil. Even if we put it in all sort of emulsified, right? Let's top off this bottle. You can hear that one still going, can't you? Even if we put it in all mixed up, it's still gonna separate, it's still gonna do its thing, and we're still gonna get a lava lamp out of it. Here's one more. Thank you for the road. There we go. So I think collectively, well, we forgot our glitter in that other one. Let's throw a little glitter in right now. See what happens. This would have been a good one for the funnel, but hey, there we go. Got a little glitter in the mix.
Cool.
So we got a little sparkle going in this one. So folks, you don't have to overthink it. This is something that's really about just getting creative, just having a little fun, just relaxing a little bit. However you like to relax, however you like to get creative and have fun, just find some time to do it. Part of what I love about this is really no way to go wrong. I made a mess. My socks are all wet. There's food color all over the place, but I'm still smiling. I hope you're smiling too, everybody. Please be sure to check out our Self-Care Anywhere website. That's stonybrook.edu/self-care anywhere, no spaces. And also join us next week for what will actually be a live stream event, because Carrie Mahoney knows what she's doing. So she'll be able to walk you through an excellent vision board craft activity and talk a little bit more about, the importance of vision in self-care and taking care of yourself in different ways. So thanks everybody. It was nice spending this time with you. I look forward to seeing everybody when we're back on campus. Reach out anytime though before then. Take care, friends. Bye-bye.